Hey Canucks fans, welcome to another edition of Ask Me Anything. I'm Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take on one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Sunday, August the 28th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Speaking of subscribing, I invite you also to subscribe to my new Clay's Canucks commentary podcast. I've set them up. I set it up on Apple and on Spotify. Shout out to Parker's Pucks for helping me do all of that. But yes, I am now ready to do my podcast. So when I launch my nightly live stream on Sunday night, September the 11th, at the same time, I'll be launching my podcast as well. So you can subscribe either on Apple or on Spotify. Look up Clay's Canucks commentary. You'll find it. And then there's a 45-second trailer up there right now. And I start uploading in earnest 2 weeks from tonight on September the 11th. So make sure you go subscribe if you listen to podcasts either on Apple or on Spotify. Okay. Don't forget, tonight, 10 p.m., my regular Sunday night live stream. And before that, at 8:30 p.m., I'll be doing my monthly group Zoom chat with legends and with Hall of Fame members. So make sure you come to that as well. That link is on my memberships tab. Okay, for real now. Let's get to your questions. Not as many as usual, but still the same high quality of questions that I've come to expect from members of the GLCPC. Eli says this: which game during the Canucks season are you most excited to watch? I presume, Eli, you mean in person. At least that's the way I'm going to go with it. Last year, I was blessed to see the Canucks versus the Maple Leafs for the first time ever. We usually sell those tickets. I was also there when the Canucks thrashed the Calgary Flames 7-2. They're wearing their flying skate. Local product, Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh Steelers receiver Chase Claypool was in the audience. That's when he said, the Calgary Flames suck so bad. That was pretty funny. So those are some memories from last year. For this season, I think it's Thursday, January the 5th. I think it's the Vancouver Canucks hosting the Stanley Cup champion, Colorado Avalanche. I love watching Canucks Avalanche games. Usually they're entertaining. Obviously, not just because they won the Stanley Cup, but so much firepower, so much excitement, so many exciting players on that team between Makar, McKinnon, Rantanen, so on and so forth. Landeskog's a good player too, and then all the rest of their defensemen as well. So I'd say that's the one game I'm looking forward to seeing the most, and I know the date because I'm looking forward to it. Thursday, January the 5th. I would also say I'm looking forward to seeing the Calgary Flames games, given that Calgary, I think, is the Canucks' closest rival, and they're my least favorite team. I'm curious to see Huberdeau and Kadri and Uyghur in that uniform, the Calgary Flames uniform, the change in their lineup. I want to see how that goes. So I'm excited I'm excited about that, actually, to see what happens and to see that Calgary Flames Vancouver matchup. So I'd say those two teams. I'm excited to see the Canucks play the Avalanche and the Canucks to play the Calgary Flames. Scott Wonder says, have you heard anything regarding the renovations at Rogers Arena, new dressing room, media room, etc.? I haven't seen or heard anything. I do know in Jim Rutherford's press conference at the end of last season, he said that they're going to redo that whole area downstairs, the area that connects the media room hallway all the way to the Canucks dressing room. They're going to renovate that whole entire thing. And those are the two things I heard about. New dressing room, kind of more, functional for the medical staff, training staff, players, coaches, everyone. And then a new media room as well. But I've not seen it or heard anything about it. Also, I saw pictures of people that have been at concerts recently in Rogers Arena, and they said there's a section, maybe it's 308, or a section near the middle, regardless, where it looks like they took out one row of seats in the upper row, the first row of the balcony, and it looks like they're going to put a camera platform there. So that tells me that they want to improve the broadcast of their games, and that kind of makes sense if they're going to do. No, I was going to say if they're going to go in-house, but I was thinking that's more for radio. So maybe, regardless if it's a Sportsnet or whoever it is, they wanted better sightline. So it looks like they're putting in a new camera platform as well. So those are the things I've heard about, but I haven't really seen any with my own eyes so far. Crispy Assassin 1597 says, would the Canucks have beat the Kings in 2012 if Daniel Sedin was healthy for the whole series? Great question. You'd like to think so. The Canucks were the President Trophy winners. Daniel Sedin missed the last 9 or 10 games of the regular season after that cheap shot by Duncan Keith, the Chicago Blackhawks. Missed the first 3 games of the Canucks LA Kings series. LA wins the first 3 games. Daniel comes in. They win game 4, but they ultimately fall to the Kings in game number 5. So I can't sit here and say for sure that the Canucks would have won if Daniel was healthy, but you would have liked their chances considering they were President Trophy winners. Daniel, he didn't have the 104 points that he had the season before, but he was still over a point per game before he got injured in that Blackhawks game. So if I had to pick one, I'd say the Canucks would have beat the Kings that season. But then don't forget, I think that's the year that the Kings went on to win the Stanley Cup. So maybe the Kings were a team of destiny. Very similar theme question. Joe Pratt says this. What do you think would have happened if the Canucks signed Wayne Gretzky? Would he have turned us into Stanley Cup champions? Good question. Interesting to think about. The easy answer would just say yes, that we would have won the Stanley Cup because we'd have the greatest player of all time. But as we've seen, just because you have the best players doesn't mean you win. And I think when the Canucks brought in Mark Messier, now Messier, although very good, and played on some championship teams with Gretzky in Edmonton, he's not Gretzky. And even with Messier, the Canucks really struggled because of a chemistry issue, a leadership, factions in the dressing room. So I'm not saying at all that that's what would have happened if Gretzky would have come to the Canucks. But what I am saying, it's a little more complicated than simply putting the best player on your team and expecting him to do best player type things. So would the Canucks have won the Stanley Cup? That one's a little tougher to say. Definitely think they would have had amazing fan interest. They would have played really well. They would have finished high in the standings. But ultimately winning the Stanley Cup, I can't sit here and say that for sure. And then Peter Wynn says this. Are you disappointed that the blue line is still the same, even though it needs to be improved and it's almost training camp? To be honest with you, Peter, disappointed is not the right word. So I'm not disappointed. I'm a little bit surprised, though, that the Canucks didn't do more to address their blue line. But I'm not disappointed. So I'm surprised, but I'm not disappointed. Because disappointed, that's a strong word for me. But that still doesn't mean I wouldn't have liked them to do something. I would sure love them to do something. I still hope they do something before the start of training camp. But that something might even be internal, as I've talked about on this channel recently, putting Oliver Ekman-Larsson or Quinn Hughes on the right side and then pairing those two guys together as a true first line, a first pairing. That might be also something that the coaching staff might consider. So not disappointed, but I'm slightly surprised. But then when you look at the tough salary cap situation that Jim Rutherford was in and Patrick Allvin, then maybe I'm not even as surprised as some others might be. So we'll see. The offseason is not over, but it looks more and more that the Canucks may go into the start of the regular season looking like the team that they have right now. That's solid in goal, really improved up front, and then no change on the blue line. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for your questions. I hope I answered them to your satisfaction. As always, don't forget, go subscribe to Clay's Canucks Commentary, either on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, and join me tonight at 10 p.m. for my weekly live stream. Legends and Hall of Fame members, I'll see you at 8:30 for my group Zoom chat. Shout out to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss, and to Van City Experts Real Estate Group. And thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Appreciate all of your loyalty and generosity. If you made it this far in the video, 8.5 minutes in, simply type in the word podcast. Podcast, P-O-D-C-A-S-T. That means you're supposed to A, go subscribe to it, and B, then I know you made it to the end of this video. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Leave a tip, a super thanks if you'd like to. Become a member or upgrade your membership if you'd like to. Definitely leave a comment down below if you'd like to as well. Type the word podcast and maybe your reaction to any of my questions. Maybe here's one. Yeah, you can answer. Do you think the Canucks would have beat the Kings in 2012 with Daniel Sedin? Do you think the Canucks could have won a Stanley Cup with Wayne Gretzky? And which Canucks game are you most excited to watch this season? So a lot of things that you can talk about in the comment section below. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.